A very good morning to all. So in the previous class, we discussed about the types of governments. Now today in this class, we will be discussing about organs and levels of government in India. So you all know that India has a written constitution which contains the laws or the rules. So these are the rules that guides how the government is formed, how can it work, what things they are allowed to do and what things they are not allowed to do. So the constitution prevents the government from becoming all powerful or misusing the power. And here the Constitution of India provides for a government that have three organs, and the organs are the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. So we will discuss them one by one. First organ is the legislature organ, which is also known as the parliament, and the main function of this organ is to make laws, and it consists of the elected representatives. That means the representatives elected by the people through elections. So here the main function of the legislature is to make laws, and let's see the structure of this organ, that is the legislature in India. As you can see, it consists of the President of India, then it has the Parliament of India, which consists of two houses, that is Rajya Sabha, which is also known as the upper house, and the Lok Sabha, which is also known as the lower house. And here the Parliament meets twice a year to make law, to discuss about the law and also to discuss other issues related to the country. And while making these laws, the government makes sure that these laws will help the people to have a better life. So this was about the first organ, that is the legislature organ. Now the next one is the executive, which is also known as the government, and it is responsible for implementing laws and running of the government, that is to check whether the laws are obeyed by the citizens of the country. And here let's see the structure of this organ in India. So it consists of the President of India, which is the head of the executive, then the Vice President, then comes the Prime Minister, and then the Cabinet of Ministers. So here Cabinet of Ministers are the elected representatives who are organized into different departments and ministries. Like the Railway Minister is responsible for the railway services in India. So this was about the executive organ. Now the next one is the judiciary, that means the courts. This judiciary has very important role. Here it interprets laws and settles dispute, and it also makes sure that the laws are fair and equal to all the citizens of the country. And if anything is done in the country which is against the law, then the judiciary will make sure that it is corrected. And it also punishes the people who do not obey the law. And here let's see the structure of this organ. It consists of the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in India, then the High Court, the District Court and the Lower Court. So these are the organs of the government in India, that is the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. Therefore, we can say that the making of laws and ensuring that the laws are obeyed by all the citizens is a very important part of the work done by the government. So this was about the organs of the government. Next, we will discuss about the levels of government. So you all know that India is a land of diversities, and a single government cannot govern the entire nation. So Indian Constitution has adopted a federal system. So this is a system in which the power is distributed between the central government and the state government. So the Constitution of India provides for a government that works at three levels, that is the central government, state government and the local self-government. Here at the national level is the central government or the union government, and it looks after the entire country. And next is the state government. So here state government looks after the welfare of the people of that particular state. And then we have the local self-government. It is the government at local levels like the cities, towns and villages. So here the local self-government looks after the needs of the people of that particular cities or towns or villages. And here the local self-government, it provides facilities like clean drinking water, collecting garbage, building new roads, electricity and so on. So this was about the levels of Indian government, that is central government, state government and local self-government. Next, we will discuss about decision making and participation in democracy. So here you can see the picture of Abraham Lincoln. He was an American lawyer and a statesman who served as the 16th president of the United States from the year 1861 to 1865. And he defined democracy as the government of the people, for the people and by the people. So the form of democracy in which the people participate in the functioning of the government through their representative is known as representative democracy. And in the representative democracy, people elect their leaders or representatives through universal adult franchise. That is, in India, all the citizens above the age of 18 years has the right to vote. So through elections, they elect their representatives and these representatives forms the government. So the right to vote is called the suffrage or the franchise. And democracy is considered the most suitable form of government because it is the people's government and the people participate in the formation of the government. And if the people are not satisfied with the activities of the current government, then they may not elect their representative in the next election. And here the government also ensures that people's needs are met, and the government also provide rights, freedoms and duties to the people. And the transition or the change of one government to another government is a peaceful process in the democratic form of government. So this was about democracy and importance of democracy. Next, we will discuss about two movements, that is the suffragette movement and the anti-apartheid movement, which was fought to achieve universal adult franchise. So let's discuss them one by one. So let's discuss about the suffragette movement. Here, this women's suffragette movement was a long fight to win the right to vote for women in United States, because during that period, women were not allowed to vote. They believed that the women should stay at home, look after the family and the household. But later in 1800s, the suffragette movement began to fight the right to vote for women, and this struggle got strengthened during the First World War, and women got the right to vote in the year 1920 in America and in the year 1928 in the United Kingdom. So this was about the suffragette movement. Now next we will discuss about the anti-apartheid struggle. Here, apartheid was a form of racial discrimination that was based on the skin color, and it was practiced by the whites in the South Africa between the year 1948 and 1994. And during the time of apartheid, the so-called whites and the blacks were given separate areas to live, and there were also separate schools, vehicles, even markets for both the races, and the so-called blacks were not allowed to vote. That means they were not allowed to participate in the functioning of the government. And here Nelson Mandela, the leader of the American National Congress, led the anti-apartheid movement, and for this he was in the prison for 27 years. And in the year 1994, elections were held, and with the effort of Nelson Mandela, the non-whites voted freely, and Nelson Mandela won the election and he formed the government. So this anti-apartheid struggle was also a struggle to achieve the universal adult franchise. So this was about the two movements that was fought to achieve the universal adult franchise. So with this we have completed the chapter, that is chapter number 22, government. Next, you can see you have an activity. The question is, do you think that people have proper regard for the right to vote, or do you think it is being misused by most people? So you have to write the answers and submit in Teams. That's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.